Hello, I thought it might be fun to take you along with me getting my day started. This is how pretty much every day starts. I get up, I take my supplements that I have to take half an hour before I eat anything, and then I make a smoothie. So I use unflavored kefir, 1 cup. I use 1 scoop of collagen powder with all the stuff that goes with it so that it actually is supposed to be good for the joints. I don't know if it helps or not, but it's not going to hurt me, so I'm doing it. Apparently, it's not good for you if you don't have the kind that does stuff, but okay, whatever. I'm good with that. And then it's also a cup of blueberries, which are supposed to be really good for my eyeballs. So I'm all about that. Cataracts run in my family, so I figure it's not going to hurt to try some preventative? Yes, that's the right word. Okay, maintenance. Anyway, I put them in there. I add a little splash of milk, and then, yeah, it gets all blended up, and life is good. So it takes me a long time to drink it because I don't eat anything or drink anything fast. And then this is the part that you don't get to see because it didn't record, and I don't really understand why. Okay, but when I get done, I rinse out the cup, get hot water in there and a little bit of soap, and I put it right back on the blender, and I blend that sucker. And so we have hot water, soapy water, all blended up, and it results in a nice clean cup. I rinse it off. I rub it around the lip where my lips touched, right? And then it all dries for the next day. It works out great, super easy. Life is grand. This time, what you missed was that when I dumped it out, it all splashed back up onto my shirt, and my shirt went from that nice little, cobalty blue to cobalty blue with white splotches all over it. And I didn't notice that it did that until I went in the bathroom to blow dry my hair and went, oh, well, I'm not wearing this in the video. So anyway, yep, this is my morning routine. I get up, I do this, and I usually, if there's laundry, I'll fold it, or if there's a dishwasher that needs unloading, I'll unload it. Whatever needs to be done, try to stay up for a little bit before I actually sit down to do work for the day, because you know what? That work comes really fast and really easy, and then there's a lot of sitting. So I figure it's good to get started moving around after laying around for a few hours. So yeah, all right, that's enough for now. I will see you over in the shed office where I'm pretty sure I'm like all washed out. That'll be fun. Hey guys, okay, I finally am here for the book haul that I talked about that I still hadn't done because I messed everything up. Remember that? Yeah. So, the dogs are out there just soaking in the sun. My husband came home early for the second day in a row. This never happens. And he was going to go work on the swamp cooler. Got to sand off all the calcium deposits and, spray it again and all the things, right? It's a process. And no desert wife ever says, no, don't do that. I'm going to record. No. We just suck it up and say, we'll do that later, right? But he was like, are you doing an interview? And I'm like, no, that's not until 5. I was just going to do a video. He's like, oh, I'll go in. I think he was looking for an out, not to be in the sun quite as much because he is home early and everybody is driving by right now. I don't understand. Anyway, but it's beautiful and I want the windows and doors open while I can because we're heading into miserable season, so that's not going to happen. But I do have it. I don't have that many, but I do have this haul that I want to put away. So I decided, I'm really frustrated because I know there are books on their way, and I know there is a book that I haven't heard yet what's going on with it. I did contacted the seller on eBay about A Cloud of Witnesses by Emily Hanlon. I contacted the seller, didn't hear back.
So, and I mean, things happen, you know, you got family emergencies. eBay is not what you care about. So I waited a few days and then I contacted eBay and, you know, they asked, do you still want the item? I'm like, yes, I want the item. All I care about is knowing if it's going to come. If they can't find it, I need to know that so I can find another one, you know. So I haven't heard back from eBay on that yet. We will see. So that one isn't here, but some of the ones that came in, and I may have mentioned one of these and I have mentioned the other, but I thought I would re-mention it since this is a haul and, you know, whatever. But so the one I've already mentioned was Gina Holder's The Puzzle Within, Game Masters Book 1. This is the one with the FBI agent. She's had a nervous breakdown and she's going to she's not done with it, but the agency is like, so they give her kind of a fluff assignment. She's not happy about that. And then fluff assignment turned out not to be so fluffy. And it's all the things. I am so excited about it. But the next book is coming out really soon. And I'm even more excited about that one. So, but I want to read this first. And it is on my stack of let's read it right now. Okay. Also, I know nothing about this book. I paid $4 for it, and that was with shipping, which was nice. But I don't know where I heard about it. Oh, there's a sticker on here, and it's driving me nuts. I don't know where I heard about it, but I almost bought the whole series. I was over on eBay, found this one, and I almost bought the whole series. And then I was like, no, read the first book and see how you like it, and if you like it, then get the other ones. Why would you buy a whole series before you even know if you want to read it? Shatona is getting wise in her old age. You will see pretty quickly how untrue that is, but that's okay. That's okay. But I did make a good decision on this one. Okay, I got most of that sticker off. I moved my trash can over here, and it's really hard because I'm so used to transferring stuff from my right hand to my left hand and into the trash over there. But it's going to be so much, as soon as I get used to it, easier to just go down to the right. That's going to be really good. And I know you needed to know that. You totally needed to know that, right? Yeah. So anyway, Murder is Bad Manners by Robin Stevens. Wells and Wong Mystery. So there is it's super cool. I'm not like a huge fan of Without the Dust Jacket, but the end papers are like a layout of the Deep Dean School. It's calling it a map, but it's actually a layout. Is it the same on the front and back? Yes, it is. Okay. So the author was born in California, grew up in Oxford, England. That's an interesting combination. And she went to boarding school, so she knows boarding schools. Okay. When boarding school students Hazel Wong and Daisy Wells set up their very own secret detective agency, they struggle to find any exciting mysteries to investigate. Unless you count the case of Lavinia's missing tie, which they don't. Then Hazel discovers Miss Bell lying dead on the gym floor. Before Hazel can tell anyone what she's seen, the body mysteriously disappears, seemingly without a trace. Now Hazel and Daisy not only have a murder to solve, they have to prove a murder happened in the first place. Can the Wells and Wong Detective Society get to the bottom of the crime before the killer strikes again? And can Hazel and Daisy's friendship stand the test? These kind of things really bother me because that is kind of like a romance. Will they get together? They're going to be able to solve at least. Okay, we don't know if they're going to get to the bottom of it before a killer strikes again. We don't know about that. That is that one doesn't bother me. But can Hazel and Daisy's friendship stand the test? So like a romance, we know it has to because the series is, right? So at some point they will still be friends because there's a book 2 and a 3 and 4 and 5, so that really kind of bothers me, but okay, whatever. I'm looking forward to this. This sounds like so much fun. And Catherine Rendell, why do I know that name? Anyway, she endorsed it. The author of the Enola Holmes series endorsed it, and I don't know who Jonathan Auxier is, but he endorsed it too. All right, and then obviously, if I wasn't going to buy them anyway, and I do buy every one that comes out, but even if I wasn't going to, this one just screams yes, because yes. So the Bookshop of 99 Doors, for two reasons. Number one, bookshop, duh, but 99 Doors, that reminds me of 100 Cupboards by N.D. Wilson. Just saying. So Jamie Jo Wright, but Bookshop, and it came with some really fun things. There's obviously a cat, because a bookshop needs a cat, and a library card that she signed, and obviously a bookmark, because readers always need bookmarks. I mean, it's really funny. I don't tend to have bookmarks that I give away anymore, because I'm like, everybody has way too many, but then people ask me for them, so I'm like, I need to get over myself. Anyway, so she has quite the list of books, and I've only read a couple. I have them all, but I've only read a couple. Well, I think I have them all. There might be a couple I've missed recently. I need to look at that. Okay, the manor's rumored 100th door may conceal secrets hidden as deep as the estate's bookshelves extend high, but the haunted past has a way of ensnaring curious souls. In 1888, Minnie Tipton finds herself beset by the dark superstitions that envelop the Pennsylvania mansion her father bought. Convinced the vengeful spirit of a Civil War captain haunts the house, and worried by her father's rapidly worsening illness, Minnie delves into the home's fraught past in an effort to bring him peace. Yet, the lingering impact of the war and the gruesome tale of murder she uncovers only foster more fear and threaten to unravel Minnie's own sanity. Is it just me, or does that kind of have a hint of the Lost Melody in there? Anyway, not the story, but what the story does. Anyway, in the present day, Tris Bellamy eagerly steps into the role of bookshop manager in the mansion-turned-museum boasting 99 doors. But Tris's dream job turns into a nightmare when havoc breaks loose with the arrival of her brother's team of self-proclaimed paranormal investigators. Their determination to find a rumored 100th door, a dangerous portal to the madness long said to plague the mansion, results in calamity, leaving Tris no choice but to hunt down the truth or watch her brother slip forever beyond her reach. So this is the first time I've read anything about the book other than the title. And it's funny because I think I've seen other people haul the book, but I don't remember the synopsis at all. So either I was distracted or they didn't actually read the synopsis. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, people, it's been on their want to read instead of what they got. I don't know. But that, because yes. And Birds on a Wire by Katie Powner. I've got another book by Katie Powner coming out soon, something about a travel trailer. Really looking forward to that one. But Katie Powner, I have never been disappointed by. Really love her. And come on, Birds on a Wire, in our family, this is kind of a thing. We hate them. We despise them. I wrote a whole book about why we don't like birds and wires. But, and it's really funny because this one reminds me of the cover of A Bird Died. I'm going to redo that cover. But this one reminds me of it a bit because you do have the birds and the wires, right? And then instead of, the little boy with the teddy bear, you have little baby shoes. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I got this one because Katie Powner. That's it. Sometimes the people who come and go in our lives make all the difference. 18-year-old Bree Marshall is determined to do whatever it takes to get her newborn son back after he's taken by CPS. But the chances of reunification with Providence are slim. Her drug-addicted boyfriend is the only reason she has a roof over her head. With no job, no car, and no family support, she's at rock bottom, hanging onto hope by a thread. Laura Gambler, on the brink of turning 40, is managing new challenges with her own children when she's asked to take in Providence. She never could have imagined the chain of events her agreement to foster the baby would set in motion, or the carefully buried pain from her past it would drag back to the surface. Both women wrestle with doubts about the future and their ability to parent Providence, even as their love for him grows stronger every day. As their lives become irrevocably intertwined, they face the impossible question: who is the best mother for Providence? So, I'm all there for that. I may have shared All Booked Up by Melody Carlson. I don't know. It has a bookmark, again, because bookmark. But this one, I think it's romantic women's fiction. I do think there is a thread of romance in here. They have it under romance, but it is so strongly women's fiction in other areas that I'm throwing it that way. Anyway, it says, when preserving precious memories means welcoming unexpected changes, Riva finds that her heart has room for so much more than she imagined. Widowed empty nester Rita Owen lives in the Victorian house that's been in her family for 3 generations. The finances have become a challenge she can no longer ignore. Her daughter is pushing her to move, and after considering all her options, Riva knows selling would be the smartest course. But she just can't bring herself to leave decades of memories and her cherished library filled with hundreds of books. When she pursues an alternative, opening her home to women like her who need a room to rent, Riva is unprepared for the mix of personalities and peculiarities of her new housemates. She's even more unprepared for Marcus, the handsome and handy older brother of one of her new tenants. The possibility of finding love again feels overwhelming, even as her tenants seem to have romantic schemes of their own. Warm your heart with a story of found family, book lovers, and a second chance at love. So, see what I mean? To me, it sounds very women's fiction-y, and I'm pretty sure I've shared that, but whatever. I also, so I was when I was ordering some from Baker Book House, one of the things that popped up was this. It's one of those leatherette, fake leather things. It is a devotional, and I didn't know if I would even read it. I'll be honest, it's got a little back sleeve. I didn't know if I would read it, but I decided I wanted to look at it, and if I don't like it, it can go in a little free library because it was $5. This is a very nice book. And so I thought, for $5, I'm going to see what it is, because people do ask me sometimes, I know you don't read devotionals, but is there any that you know of that might be a good fit for someone who just needs something to get started? And so I thought, for $5 I can find out, and then I can pass it along, or I can decide that I really, really like it, and wouldn't that be a surprise? So why not? But it has table of contents by subject, it's kind of interesting. So it says, A Healthy Thought Life is day 16, day 236, and day 300. Amazing Grace is day 34, 104, 110, 133, 175, 211. Be Grateful, day 13, 90, and 92. So, that's kind of cool. It's 365 days of enduring strength from God's Word. And so you have your short little bit. It tells you which passage to read. Like this one is Psalm 103. It gives you a slight admonition. This one is, up your game, err on the side of faith, grab hold of his promises, live expectantly, leave the results to him. Okay. And then there is a prescriptive prayer there if someone actually needed something to kind of guide prayers, so because I used to have a problem with those prescriptive prayers. They used to really bother me because I'm like, I don't know. And then I really looked into the Book of Common Prayer when I realized that their prayers are almost scripture, I was like, okay. And then when I really dove into it because I really wanted to understand, and the more I see it, the more I see that prescriptive prayers aren't there to replace a conversation. It's more of a conversation starter. And people have, those little decks of cards for dinner parties or whatever, and someone pulls one out and then everybody talks about it, right? There's journaling prompts for people who want to journal but just haven't gotten there yet. Why not prescriptive prayer that gets you going? And if that's where you stop, at least you communicated with the Lord on some level, and it help to get that going. And so I've kind of gone beyond my I don't like that self-righteous attitude and moved into, hey, that can be a benefit, not just for someone who doesn't know how to pray, but even for me, because sometimes I need to I pray almost well, okay, I pray every day, all day. But I mean, in my journal, I pray almost every single day. And, sometimes I feel like I'm rambling, and there's nothing wrong with that. But because of it, sometimes I do get this mental block, and then I'm sitting there going, stop rambling, just talk to the Lord. What's wrong with you? But if in that moment I had been reading something like this, I could easily go, oh, that's a good direction. And it might take me out of the ramble long enough to get me back into just a conversational tone with the Lord, right? So I got it. I don't know if I will keep it. I am going to read a few of them, probably not in order, just to kind of see what's in there. I read one of her Advent devotionals, which is those are the kind of devotional things that I actually enjoy. So when it comes to Advent, I can handle a lot of more formal, instead of just diving deep into the word, someone kind of regurgitating, if you will, just to keep your mind focused on a topic. That's great for a season. I liked it with Lent last year. I didn't get to do Lent this year, and I actually missed it, and that was kind of neat. And I was like, okay, I need to put that into my schedule for next year, that nothing's going to happen that will interrupt that, because that was really cool. So I'm going to see, and then I will probably give it away, but that's okay. For $5, it was worth it. And I don't know if it's still on sale for $5, but if it is, and you know someone you want to give a gift to, that would be a great gift. I'm just saying. Okay, then finally, for now, I have the Susa Chronicles. These two go together. You need both on hand to read them. The author says yes. So you have 1 and 2. And then the third one is an adjacent novel. It is connected to some of the people, but the stories aren't connected. From what I understand, this ends with a cliffhanger, and you really want to start this one right away. So it's almost a novel in 2 parts. So just putting that out there. So what this is a kind of, is it dystopian? I feel like it's dystopian. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is dystopian. Don't quote me on that. But it is a retelling of Esther in this other, if it's not dystopian, it's at least fantastical, in this other world where there are enhanced people, and she's not, but she's competing to be the bodyguard of the prince. So instead of being a wife in this world of the Esther story, she's going to be a wife. Fun fact, this woman on the cover of these is Megan Shawless's friend. She is a model and actress, or just model, I don't remember. And so Megan wrote with her in mind, and then when they got to talking, she's like, well, you want to be on the cover? And so she's on the cover. I mean, that was kind of cool. So Whitefire is the publisher. Rosanna M. White did the covers, but they used what's her name's friend, Megan's friend. So that was kind of cool. So anyway, if you can't be invisible, be unremarkable. As the orphan daughter of a traitor, Novalis grew up in hiding with an outlawed religious group hated by the crown. She dreams of aiding her people as a scientist and begs her overprotective brother for a chance to assist in his schemes against the government. All her hopes of making a difference implode when she's kidnapped and forced to compete against the Enhanced, a group of highly trained, biologically upgraded young women for a position as the king's protector. Plagued by insomnia, King Xaden is still reeling from his father's untimely death. When his council suggests a competition as the way to choose his new bodyguard, he lacks the confidence to oppose the plan. Given the role he played in his father's murder, choosing the right protector could mean reliving his guilt or repeating his worst mistakes. Can he trust the intriguing candidate who's nothing like the others? So we have a not like other girls thing going on here, which I kind of expected, but that always is kind of a, but I have confidence in Megan, so we're going to be good. After discovering a long hidden connection between the Enhanced and her father, Novalise realizes winning the competition would give her people the strategic advantage they desperately need. But is that leverage worth compromising herself, body and soul? So there's book 1, and it immediately goes into book 2, Proclaimer. I thought I felt something, but maybe I didn't. Anyway, so Proclaimer, I ordered these directly from Megan. She kind of has a deal on her website. You can buy them from her. The only way to save her people is to betray the king she vowed to protect. And I'm going to stop there because that's all I can say without doing some possible spoilerage. And because I haven't read the first one, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that since it's like one right after the other, that's kind of scary. And then after those two, we have Rebuilder, which is definitely not... Oh, look. I have a sticker map. But anyway, so this is adjacent to the series that some of the people, like this guy was in there, and now this is his story. So it's adjacent, but it's not the same. So I think I can read the back of this one. Anyway, will his second chance sink like sand beneath his feet? Bitter and broken from his imprisonment in the Citadel, Hatch can't stand to watch the woman he loves start her new life. When the king offers him a position as the governor of Ivania, an island territory populated by Alphanites, Hatch sees the job as a chance to escape his heartache. But from the moment his crutches hit the sand of this tropical island, Hatch is deemed an outsider, particularly by Maya, an artsy adrenaline junkie the locals have nicknamed Princess. Maya is content to spend her days writing letters to her far-off fiancé. The last thing she needs is a government official taking over Ivania and poking at old wounds. But when an enemy attack causes the island to start sinking into the sea, Maya must convince the sullen governor that her home is worth saving. With only 52 days to stabilize the island. Interesting, 52 days. I wonder why 52 days. That's interesting. Anyway, Hatch and Maya must confront the pasts they both long to leave behind. As the ground literally sinks beneath them, will they drown in their regrets or ride the waves of change to a future neither could have imagined? Blah, blah, blah. So see how that ended? Okay. This is clearly a romance, right? I mean, loath to love thing going on here. But instead of saying, well, they get together, it's like, as the ground literally sinks beneath them, will they drown in their regrets or ride the waves of change to a future? Well, we know which it is, but at least it's not, will they get together? Because we know they will. This is saying, how is that going to happen? Because even if the ground's, they drown in regrets, that doesn't mean they're going to die. That just means that they might have even more trouble. So, I mean, I can get behind that ending of the things where I can't always on the other. But anyway, so this is my stack. This is what I've got. It's not super huge, but it is there, and I'm very happy about it. Maybe I'll do it this way. So I never do this, so why not? So we'll do it this way. So see? Yes, I have a nice little stack. I'm very happy with them. I'm pretty sure, I know I mentioned this one. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this one, but I wanted to make sure, and it was worth it to me to read it again because I remember why I want to read it so much. And of course, now it's like, this happens every time I do a book haul. I think I need to do another TBR book haul. I think it's time. So the next books that come in, they're going to stack up, and I'm going to do my TBR book haul. As soon as I get enough to focus on for a week or two, that's going to become my book haul. I think I'm going to do that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you've never done that, I totally recommend it. It is super fun. And I really feel like doing it from the library would work a little bit, but not as well, because from the library you are picking books that are there for a specific period of time, and so it's kind of easier. and you know what's going to be there, and so you can like curate one a little more. Whereas I don't know, maybe it's because I don't go buy books in a store very often. I'm ordering, so I'll find one here and I'll order that, and I'll find one there and I'll order that, and it just kind of comes hither and thither and wither and yon, and life is grand, right? So yeah, we shall see, but but I do recommend it. It's kind of fun. The difference, the thing that would make it work for a library book haul would be the fact that you can put books on hold, but that doesn't mean they're going to come in when you expect them. So you're not sure which ones are going to show up the week you decide to do it. So I mean, there is that. I'm literally looking. I can't. My eyeballs will not stop looking. There is literally a bird on a wire over there, and I'm like, get off of there! Don't blow a transformer! Don't kill anybody! Anyway, so but yeah, this is my books. Very happy to have them, and now I can actually get going on some of them and all the things. So what have you been reading? What books have you gotten in lately? Are there some that I need to know about? Yeah, I just need to know. And do you have, I always wonder, I always mean to ask this and I always forget, do you have a process by which you decide what to buy? Or do you buy what grabs you the day that you see it? I mean, I'm sure that there are people who do things both ways. Is there some other process by which you buy things? Do you say, do you have a list and you just go down and check the list? I have a whole list on Amazon of books to buy that I never remember to look at. I remember to add to, but I never remember to look at. Maybe I'll buy me some of those for my birthday. That might be fun. Let you guys vote on which ones I should buy for my birthday. That might be fun. But anyway, so I will see you on Monday with what I've read. I've read some things. Very excited to feel like I'm back in the swing of reading and having kind of normal nights again, because the project thing did kind of mess that up. But that's okay. I'm good with projects. And I have to make another one of those table runners. I got the fabric in to make one for Lorna. She really wanted one. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. But yeah, I will see you Monday, and you have a lovely, lovely weekend.